Alright everyone, welcome to some more Mario at exactly 40. With me, the 40.
Super Mario Odyssey!
We are in the process of gathering 880 moons. Probably. Okay. Last time, we had this hint art. Shit. Which I just added to, unfortunately. And there was a hint art that looked like... Where did you go? Dum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's okay. This one. And I got to thinking, so you've got that 4C, and that's from the map. But then I was looking at the map that I have. And if you look at this, you know, these are sort of a beige instead of being a purple. So now I'm thinking, maybe I have to find it in a purple land. So first thing first, I'm going to try going to just another kingdom to see if the map is a different color or not. Because it sure looks like the Sandy Land, right? Sandy Land, my favorite board game. With the deliciousness of sand. Yes, okay. So that's like a greenish color. Yeah. I mean, we're just going to have to look around, unfortunately. But once we get there, maybe it'll be a simple matter. Who's got the purple map? Damn it. I had a suspicion that this would be green, but you know. Can I look at like these pamphlets or something? I guess not. Okay. Gonna have to do the old guess and check, huh? I mean, I could try and do this by being like, where do you think it is? But I'm not gonna do that. Because if I did that, and then I paid the price, I would be like, well, crap, now I gotta go back through and, you know, just sort of randomly guess. That's not gonna go well. Gray. I was thinking Lost Kingdom could be the one. I was also thinking the Luncheon Kingdom could be purple. A lot of purple happening there. Those are honestly my top choices, but yeah, a lot of purple here. You know, it seems potentially possible. Actually that color, aha! Okay, so C4? Is that right? We found it, everybody. C4. Which is kind of right in here. Okay, I'm now in C4. For sure. Kind of looking for what looks like a pile of sand. Up against what looks like this kind of surface, right? something like this. But it looked a little different. Like, it looked like it was up against a wall, kind of, didn't it? Let's see, now I'm in B. It's kind of got to be right around here. Right. Damn it. There's a shadow, a pointy shadow, and 3 dark sort of shapes like that. And then I'm going to get into B. Oh, is this still C? This is still C. Like the shadow's reaching down from the top towards the thing. Although I guess maybe the shadow doesn't mean anything, because some of these have been at different times of day. Like some of them have been at night, even though everything else is during the day. Just can't tell what this 3-pronged sort of black thing is. It kind of doesn't look like a shadow, right? Is there like any kind of black plant with 3, like this hand a little bit? Oh, is this it? Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Excellent, excellent. I think that actually might be all of the art that I know about from the dark side. And all of the arts. Oh no, there's still one more art that I have not cracked yet. Which is, well, keep. I haven't figured out yet, I think. And what was the one other one, I think? Figured out the hat. Is it just keep? That's it? No, there has to be another one. Oh yeah, this one. That I was like, is there some way to figure out where this is? I'm like looking for other clues. The other ones mostly had like another clue, right? That was like, hey, check this out. But this is, man, this one is dense. And then this one does give you a clue of it's in the Seaside Kingdom. I can kind of see the background here and see like a little bluff or something, a little green area. I don't know how much of a clue that gives you. Trying to look at the backgrounds on some of these other ones and be like, does that really tell you? Oh, the background is where it came from. Interesting, interesting. So that's right. This one's not in the Seaside Kingdom, is all I really know. Because it came from the Seaside Kingdom. Ooh, boy. Yeah, like, okay, you can see this one came from the Metro Kingdom, from the background, but in the foreground, we're in the, whatever, water world. All right, then. I'm not sure how to find those two for now. So I think my best bet is to head back to one, I don't know. I don't know which one to go to. Mushroom, I think I'm going to wait because I think there are a lot of Toadette ones. So that's going to be confusing. Cap is done. Cascade still has one. That's maddening. And I think it's one that they're like, I can't give you a hint. So it makes me think that there's probably art. Maybe I should go back there and make sure I have found the art for the Cascade Kingdom. And that I've successfully found, you know, whatever based on that art. I'm wondering if what I should do today, maybe I should go on an art hunt and make sure I can find all the arts in the different areas, and then move forward, because I'm sure there are some that I missed. There have to be. All right. Gotta do a real search here. Oh God. I guess this can double as a coin grabbing time, because I had a revelation last night. I was thinking about this game, as I do, and was like, oh crap. I bet I have to get all of the outfits, right? And because I bet that's a Toadette thing. So if I don't get all the outfits, I kind of remember the art being somewhere on the back side of this one. I'm gonna try that first. Like, I remember it being kind of on a cliffside, but that could be completely wrong. Oh. Oh no, that's not this. Let's do... We should go in here, right? Because when I found this originally, I probably didn't know what I was doing. So just to be sure... Okay. I mean, I wouldn't think I would just leave a moon, but you know. And I've got everything here, so that's great. Great news. It has somewhat worked, my strategy of like trying to finish these all, but then not going too nuts, because it did turn out that there are some things that you kind of learn as you go, and so it's a little harder to finish them. It's, you know, it would be really difficult to do the entire Cascade Kingdom and then move on to the next kingdom and the next kingdom and kind of mop it up that way. I think it's probably smarter to do it a little bit like this. I mean, the big downside is there's a balance, because it's easier to know what you still haven't done if you kind of stick with one stage as long as possible. But, you know. Like, I feel like I remember it being around something like that. But I could be totally wrong. Prepare to be shocked. I could be totally wrong about something. But yeah, because I think what's happening is you get the art for a stage, right? And then it's like, because that moon is on a different stage, it'll be like, I can't tell you, I don't have any hints for you, because they don't know where it is, because it's not on their stage. You know what I like about this Mario game, and what most Mario games do, is I like that in Mario games you don't really gain abilities. It's like you start the game with all the abilities you have at the end of the game, really. I mean, there are occasional, like, I don't know, you find a hat that does something, but not really, you know what I mean? It's like to get a single thing. But as far as your jumping and stuff, it's not like you have to learn, oh, Mario acquired new skill X. It's just like, yeah, man, you've got all the tools in your tool bag from the beginning. And I like that, because I think that is it offers like a different game for different skill levels. And I do think that's pretty fun. It just, I don't know, it adds something to the game. I think it feels too like, to me, it just feels like a more natural, fair challenge. Because it's like, well, if you have to, like, get skills along the way, then the game is kind of designed such that you can't really do everything. So it makes it very easy for, like, the developers, right, to block off an area. Because all they have to do is be like, well, you can't high jump yet, so you can't go there. Where when they do it this way, it's kind of like you really have to think about it as a developer. You have to be like, how do I keep areas sort of inaccessible while also... Which, you know, to an extent, they just cheat in this game, I will say, because, like, the idea of the moon rock, right, is, like, kind of a cheat in that it's just sort of... Yeah, some of the moons don't appear until you finish the main game. Drain the main game. But, I don't know, I think it works. I think it's a nice way to do it. Cool. Where the hell are you, Hint Art? See, it's possible I haven't found it yet. I would have kind of thought they would have made it pretty easy to find on this stage, because it's like the first stage. But that could be wrong. Because on the other hand, it's like, well, maybe they want you to come back later. They don't want you to just run through the entire stage and then do it. But yeah, I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a Metroidvania as much as the next guy. Especially if the next guy likes Metroidvanias quite a bit. I just don't... I don't know. It's like not... It's just interesting. This provides a different flavor. Damn it. Where are you? Okay, hold on. Let's look through these real quick and say, hey, do the backgrounds on any of them look like they came from the Cascade Kingdom? No. No. Definitely no. 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 Wait. No. No. Maybe. That could be the woods or whatever that's called, though. No. 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 What I'm looking at here is the possibility that I have not located this one yet. Which is entirely possible. It's possible that I haven't found this one yet. Which would be kind of crazy, because that means there's something I haven't seen on this stage yet, which shouldn't be. And yet, here we are. And then we get to, this is the, you know, unfortunate, somewhat aimless wandering that these 3D Marios sometimes get into. Which is really too bad. Not my favorite thing. Fudge. Okay, well. Coming to grips with the fact that we may have to, Boy, I feel like I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be. But And now I'm, like, asking myself, like, how sure am I that there's not... that there's a... that there's an art in every level. How sure of that am I? Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I mean, is it possible that it's behind some explodable bricks? Yes. That is possible. Duh. Cascade Falls is kind of a funny name. It's kind of like Falls Falls. Come with me on my vacation to Falls Falls. Jurassic Park. I mean, I guess it could also be in, like, a sub-area, right? I don't think it has been. But I don't know that it hasn't been. You know, like in here. Do I trust Cappy? I mean, yeah, I do. I should explore this outer area first, right? See if I can find anything out here. Okay. I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's also nuts that it's like, the way this works is you end up running around the same areas a lot. Like, I get it from a design standpoint, I think. It's like, well, you know, you kind of make it so that people who want to do, like, the whole damn game. It's like, look, man, you got to do the whole game. You're going to find everything. You're going to see everything we've created for you to see. And, you know, I get that idea. I'm not opposed to that. But I don't know. Hint toads are nice, I gotta say. Alright, well, let's do this. It could be, like, hidden here, right? Actually. Not there. Not there. Attack! I can't break those, really. I mean, hint arts can be on the ground. Ugh. It's alright, Cappy. Did a good job. Did I kill whoever would do that? My murderous ways got me in trouble here. I mean, it wouldn't be totally outlandish for that to be how this worked. I don't think I, like, totally destroyed everything with the dino. I might have. I don't really remember. Not there. Oh no! How did the dinosaurs die? Complicated question. You know, who could really say? I had a commenter say something about, you know, when Cappy is like, doesn't seem like there's anything left to do. These are like separate from the main area. And so when Cappy doesn't say anything, but I've gotten all the things, it's perhaps because, how did this go? Because that area is part of the main story area as opposed to like being strictly a side area. Which, you know, is a logic that makes sense to me. So sometimes he might not say, oh yeah, this area is all clear, but the area might be all clear. Keep hoping. I'm like, aha, that's a frame, but it's just the stupid trampoline frame. I kind of wish I hadn't destroyed that. Oh, okay, it comes back. We should try that electric reel. Shock me like an electric reel, huh? See if I see anything from here. There's this suspicious block, right? Or this set of blocks. Well, I think I go up here for this. Oh, I don't. Okay, okay. Maybe someone needs to smush these. I think there's a way to get the dino up here, because I think I smashed some stuff. How? How do you get the dino up here? So he can use his dynamite. Get that? You guys get it? Pretty clever, huh? How the hell did I do that, though? Or was there one up here? Okay. Bastard. Where's Toad? I don't know, man. Make a independent decision for yourself, for God's sake. Sproing. Ah, okay. Oop, duh. See what's possible. I'm thinking this is dangerous, but what I'm thinking is that it's possible that I did find the art before, but you know, when I found it initially, I had just started playing the game and was like, no, I'm not doing these, like, online components, you know what I mean? Not doing this, like, take a picture, share it with friends or something. And so maybe that caused me to be like, oh, I don't need to take a photo of this album art. Yeah. No! Damn it. Been on that platform. Yeah, see, this is what I was looking to avoid in this game, I think, which is just, you know, an hour of walking around. And I may be overestimating where I'm at in the game. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm not at, you should spend an hour walking around Cascade Kingdom just yet. You know what I mean? There's probably still plenty of moons to locate. It's kind of funny because talking to Poonmaster Flex about this, and I was like, I've got less than 100 to go, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're almost done. And I was like, maybe. That's the thing, is every moon you get means the next moon's gonna take longer. Oh, these are like my ship, huh? Just realized that. These are like the Odyssey, but made of stone. See, it's with observation like that, observational skills, that, you know, that's why I'm gonna find so much victory in this game. Oh, okay, okay. I don't know what that did. Alright, let's say I was trying to get this dino up to the top. Just hypothetically. I have to go this way. I could swear I got him up there, but maybe I didn't. But why have destructible blocks up there if they can't be destroyed? You know what I mean? Doesn't really make sense. Well, that's not gonna work. Destroying. Ah, shit. I'm not sure why there's a Trebopoline there. Alright. Walk the dino over here. Do any spring over here to get the dino up here? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ah! It feels like... Because why else would this be destructible block? You know what I mean? There has to be a reason. Is this where I fought that lady the first time? Was that destructible then, when I was fighting? Damn it. Damn it. Keep hoping I can get two, you know? I never can, but hope dies last and all. We watched the movie last night. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a Netflix movie written, directed by Jerry Seinfeld about, it's kind of a fictionalized version of the invention of Pop-Tarts. And it was pretty good, guys. I know people are like, oh, I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld, whatever. It was pretty good. It felt like a movie, you know, that was just... Jerry Seinfeld has written, you know, 1,000 bits about cereal over his career. And so then was like, you know what? What if I just made a movie and then I could hang all these jokes on that movie? And you know, I know that that's not going to be for everybody, but I was like, I'm into it. I'm totally fine with a movie where it's like, well, basically it exists to tell all these dumb jokes, right? And it's just like kind of a loose framework, and then it's like, well, and then stuff happens, you know, to enhance the jokes or like to give the jokes some context or whatever. But overall, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's mostly about the idea of telling this story. Or, sorry, it's mostly about the jokes. It's not really about the whole story so much. And I liked it. It felt like a throwback in that way. Like, I felt like there are a lot of movies like that. You know, often made by comedians. I think like the movie Dirty Work, the Norm Macdonald movie, is a pretty good example of that. Where it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not really... The movie is, you know, pretty basic in story, and the idea is like, Well, you know, we could just basically do a bunch of funny stuff. Or I think, what's that stoner one? Half-Baked? Feels pretty like that to me. If only I'd paid attention in geometry class. Or ever learned to play billiards. Trying to like time it just right. I don't think I can get it if this guy can. Damn it! Like, you gotta trick him into coming this way. And then potentially line up the shot. But then, oh, he skips back so quickly. That seemed like it shouldn't have worked, but it did. Damn it, guys. One more. Okay. Destructoed all this. Where could you hang an album art? I mean, the album art can also be flat. Alright, let's do this. Let's check. Isn't there like an island in the sky? I guess it could be up here. It's not. But it was permissible for it to be here. It's like all I can think about is like, is there some way to get that Tyrannosaurus up to the top? It would have to be a trampoline over to the right there, right? That's the only realistic way. It's the only way that's realistic. I mean, and realism is very important in this game. If there's a trampoline, like right over here, I think that's makeable for maybe. But man, I do not see anything remotely like that. What's another way to potentially destroy a block? Chain chomps. What else? Anything else? You know what? I just decided there should be a thing in this game so you get like that artist's outfit. And it's like the artist's outfit, it should be like, you can turn on, it's like hot and cold game for finding the art. I know how to triple jump. Okay, there's no way to get a chain chomp over here. Absolutely no way. I gotta assume I fought something up here. Maybe that lady, the rabbit lady with the chain chomp on a leash. And then maybe it shows you that those blocks are destructible. Boy, I am running pretty dry on ideas here. Maybe we should do... behind the waterfall. Top of the rubble. Because then, like, sometimes I look at this, right, and I'm looking at this map. And there's kind of this right over here, this section under the ground, where I'm like, I haven't found a lot over there. There's also that section sort of to the upper right, where it's like, yeah, I haven't done a lot there. So then you think, like, well, maybe that's a good place to go looking, right? So there's not a lot happening there. And if I haven't found it, it could be there, because that's perhaps not an area I've explored as much. No more hints, no more hints. I kept thinking like maybe one of these stumps has it on one side, so it's not super easy to find, but it's there. Because I'm thinking, like, just game design perspective. I would probably put the first one, like, here. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of right at the opening. And be like, here's a thing that you can do. Just kind of get the player, like, to see it. And be like, okay, so there's a thing happening. You know, and then they're thinking about it. So then, as it becomes clearer what's going on in the game... I mean, this is going to be a nightmare in the Sand Kingdom. Finding the damn art. Wow. Check that cave. I can check underneath the falls? This. Is this the same one? In Bowser's Land? I think so. Oh, yeah, okay. Shit. The colors kind of tricked me. Damn it. Here's the thing. It's entirely possible that I will discover that I will find the art and then be like, oh, I already knew where this was. I already had done this. Damn it, right? This could be a colossal waste of time. Camera is not friendly when you're in this water. This particular section. And, like, you begin to wonder, like, is there some trick to finding the art? You know what I mean? Like, is there some indicator, some way that, you know, the game does give you something? You know what I mean? Because, overall, fairly player-friendly game. Not a cruel game, not a game that, like, has you doing a lot of what I'm doing right now. But I am doing it right now. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for it to be, like, here, does it? It's like you spend the time, and first you're like, well, it's probably somewhere kind of, it's not really visible from a lot of other spots. You know what I mean? Here's where I think me and this game, and this kind of game, have a little trouble. Is when I'm at this point that I'm at now, right? And I'm like, well, maybe it's up at the top, and I gotta get the dinosaur up there and smash those bricks. But when I start thinking that way, I'm like, okay, but then if that's the case, then I don't know. You start thinking, when that's the case, you start thinking like, you can spend an hour basically trying to get him up there, right? Being like, is it possible to get the dino up there? And if so, how? How would I do it? And then you can do that, and then it turns out to be for nothing. You know what I mean? Because you're like, well, I spent an hour trying to do something I can't even do in the interest of trying to accomplish something that is not really possible. I think I'm gonna leave the sub areas for now and just be like, you know, if I have to explore the sub areas, I will. But until such time that I've completely exhausted the overworld, the underworld. Are we sure there's no art on any of those things? Like if I got out, because I feel like I got out to those islands a couple times. It was underwhelming. Doesn't seem like there's anything left to do here. But isn't there? Like, what if it's on top of there laying flat? And yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? You end up doing stuff like this because you're, like, desperate. Shit. Alright, guys. I think that's gonna just have to do it for today. Because, boy, we can't find that art. But I'm hopeful that we will find it eventually. And, maybe less eventually than right away next time. But, you know, my hopes are, I'm trying to keep them realistic, which means not high. We'll see you next time.